Every great Slugterra player knows that not all slugs are created equal. But did you know some slugs have hidden powers that can make or break your game? What if the slug you're using isn't showing its true potential? Stick around, because today we're diving into the top 10 slugs with secret abilities that can give you the edge. Whether you're a casual player or climbing the ranks to become the ultimate slugslinger. And trust me, you'll want to know about the last one. It's an absolute game changer. We're talking strategies, secrets, and maybe even a few glitches in the system that totally aren't glitches, I swear. Get ready to transform your gameplay, because after today, you'll never look at these slugs the same way again. Let's get started. At first glance, Enigmo seems like just another slug in your arsenal. It's cute, it's fuzzy, it's got those big innocent eyes. But don't let that fool you. Enigmo's real strength lies not in brute force, but in creating confusion. Imagine this. You're facing off against an opponent, a seasoned slugslinger at the top of their game. They think they've got you cornered, they're lining up their shot, ready to take you down. But little do they know, you've got an Enigmo up your sleeve. Suddenly they're surrounded by duplicates of you. They're panicking, firing wildly, wasting precious ammo on illusions while you remain completely undetected. Is that you behind them, or just another figment of Enigmo's imagination? And here's the kicker. Just when they think they've got you figured out, when they think they've finally honed in on your real location, bam! You strike from the shadows. No warning, no second chances. That's the power of Enigmo. You've likely underestimated Thresher if you've only used it for standard slicing attacks. It's easy to see it as just another melee slug, good for a quick slice and dice. But you, my friend, you're a discerning viewer. Thresher's hidden ability to cut through nearly any material can turn even the toughest situations into victories. Picture this. You're backed into a corner, the enemy is closing in, and you're trapped behind a seemingly impenetrable barrier. Other slugs are useless, their attacks bouncing harmlessly off the surface. But then, you remember Thresher. It slices through the barrier effortlessly, like a hot knife through butter, leaving your enemies stunned and scrambling to react. You've not only escaped certain defeat, but you've also gained the tactical advantage. Next up, we have Cryptogryph, a slug known for playing mind games. Now, on the surface, Cryptogryph might seem like your typical persuasion slug. It whispers sweet nothings into your opponent's ear, convinces them to switch sides, maybe even join you for a cup of tea and a nice game of checkers. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Cryptogryph's hidden power is something truly terrifying, something that will send chills down your spine. Imagine this. You're in the heat of battle. Your opponent is about to unleash their most powerful slug, and then it happens. Their slug hesitates, turns, and attacks its own master. That's right, folks. Cryptogryph isn't just about persuasion. It's about control, total and utter domination of your opponent's mind. Chapter 4. Arachnet, the master of webs and... Now, Arachnet. We all know it. We've all used it. It's the go-to slug for setting traps, for ensnaring your enemies in a sticky situation. But what if I told you that Arachnet's true power has been hidden in plain sight? That its real magic comes not from trapping, but from manipulating? Think about it. Most slugs, once they've been fired, that's it. They do their thing, and then they're spent. But Arachnet's webs are different. They're alive, responsive, almost sentient. Chapter 5. Hypnogryph. More than just a naptime buddy. Now, Hypnogryph. It's a fan favorite, known for its ability to lull enemies into a peaceful slumber. And let's be real, who doesn't love a good nap? But what if I told you that Hypnogryph's true power goes way beyond a simple siesta? That it can tap into the deepest recesses of the mind, bending its victims to its will. We're not just talking about putting one enemy to sleep here, folks. We're talking about mass hypnosis, about lulling an entire group of slugs, or even their slugslinger, into a state of complete and utter submission. Imagine the possibilities. Picture this. You're facing off against a whole squad of seasoned slug slingers, each with their own arsenal of powerful slugs. It seems like an impossible task, right? But you're not afraid. You have Hypnogriff. With a flick of your wrist, you launch Hypnogriff into the fray, and a wave of tranquility washes over the battlefield. Chapter 6. Fandango, the Energy Thief. We've all used Fandango. It's the go-to slug for a quick power boost, for supercharging our other slugs and unleashing devastating attacks. But here's what most players overlook. Fandango isn't just a battery, it's a conduit. It can draw energy from the very world around it, creating a surge of power out of thin air. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a grueling battle. You've given it your all, your slugs are exhausted, and you're down to your last few shots. Your opponent, sensing victory, is closing in for the kill. It seems hopeless, but then you remember Fandango. Chapter 7. Vampiro, stealing more than just your energy. Most Slugterra players know Vampiro for its vampiric abilities, for its knack for draining the energy of its opponents. It's a valuable asset, no doubt, weakening your enemies and giving you an edge in battle. But what if I told you that Vampiro's hunger goes deeper than just energy? What if I told you that Vampiro can absorb the very abilities of its victims, becoming a dark reflection of their former strength? Imagine this. You're facing off against an opponent with a particularly troublesome slug. Maybe it's a slug known for its speed, or its brute force, or its ability to control the elements. You could try to counter it, to find its weakness, but there's a more elegant solution. Vampiro. You unleash it upon your opponent's slug, and as it sinks its fangs in, something incredible happens. Chapter 8. Lariat, the time-bending maverick. Time manipulation. It's the stuff of legends, of science fiction novels and blockbuster movies. It's the ultimate power fantasy, the ability to control the very fabric of reality. And in the world of Slugterra, it's more attainable than you might think. Enter Lariat. On the surface, Lariat might seem like your average run-of-the-mill slug, but beneath that unassuming exterior lies a power that bends the very laws of physics. Chapter 9. Polero, the Gravity Defier. We often think of gravity as an unyielding force, a constant that governs our lives. What goes up must come down, right? But in the world of Slugterra, even the laws of physics are subject to change. And no slug demonstrates this better than Polero. Polero has a hidden power that often gets overlooked. Its ability to manipulate gravity itself. Imagine that for a second. Not just resisting gravity, not just floating, but actually controlling it, bending it to your will. Chapter 10. Boondock, the Regenerator. And finally, we come to Boondock, the healer, the mender, the one slug that every slug slinger wants on their team. It's known for its ability to heal, to restore, to bring your slugs back from the brink of defeat. But Boondock's true power lies not in healing the living, but in regenerating the inanimate. Think about it. In the heat of battle, your weapons, your gadgets, even your battle armor can take a beating. One well-placed shot from your opponent and your favorite blaster could be nothing more than scrap metal. If these slugs are already making you rethink your strategy, then imagine what could happen if you knew how to return to Slugterra at any time. Because let's be real, getting stuck in the human world is a real drag when you've got slugs to sling. Curious? I've got just the video for you. How many ways to come back to Slugterra? Click here, and let's unlock even more game-changing secrets together. Don't miss it.